Hey, what's going on, guys? This is your man, Real Deal, Steele, coming to you live, video stream with my man, Nick Ballz. What is going on? What is going on, guys? Great to see you on this Friday night, feeling all right, out of sight. What is good, people? What is good? Got a fantastic show lined up for you tonight, and we are going to get down to it soon, boppers. Who do we got in the chat tonight? We've got Seeker of Glory, Abstractus Artemis, No Tap, 7-1, Crypto Tank Girl, Alan Schneider, Slay Blaze, of course, Bang Stun, everybody bang stun tonight, Emperor Doge, Larry Ramirez, of course, Scott Herfurth, Alan Schneider, and the list goes on, Great to see you guys, Got a lot of interesting stuff to talk about tonight, a lot of amusing stuff to talk about tonight as well. And if you could just smash that like button before we get started, it really does help a lot. It's the number one thing you can do to help out a smaller emerging channel like this. Takes a split second of your time, doesn't cost you a dime. number one thing you can do to help the channel out. Secondly, if you're brand new here, I'd like to personally welcome you. You're watching Steven Steele Live. I'm Steven Steele, and we've got an awesome community here. We would love to have you be a part of it. So just hit that subscribe, hit all on that notification bell, and ascend with us to the moon, to Mars, and beyond. Lastly, if you feel compelled to super chat anywhere throughout the duration of this episode, that's obviously hugely appreciated for all the time and efforts put in. Feel free to ask myself or my esteemed colleague above any questions or comments, and we will do our best to field those to the best of our abilities. Guys, what is going on? Without any further ado, I would like to welcome a man who's had a plan since 2014, taken out a loan for $10K that he didn't have at the time and put it all in dog money to become what he's now become known as today, the OG Dogecoin multimillionaire. It's Nick Ballz. Nick, how you doing up there, man?
Hey, pretty good, Steven. How are you doing down there?
Hey, all right. Feeling good in the inferno. I'm in hell, I'm in the inferno. I'm the naughty one, and you're the angel up high.
This isn't even my final form.
Oh man. High tech, low, zombie Doge army. Great to see you guys. Yeah. So what's going on, man? Let's just hop to the big topic of the night, and that is this. So China making a big stink again about the all out crypto ban again. I got my own Doge here, wanting my attention. She needs to get some screen time. And that's okay. We'll just include my Doge here for a little cameo. That's Remy, everyone. Anyway, Remy agrees that this propaganda launch by the Chinese government, yes, she agrees. She completely agrees that this is pretty much FUD to the highest degree. I mean, just since you and I have been broadcasting, Nick, the Chinese government's been pulling this kind of thing multiple times. Your thoughts?
Yeah. I think this would probably constitute like the 17th time that China's banned crypto. So, absolutely nothing new. I can't stand. I mean, I posted a tweet this morning of something about like, how many times are they going to pull this rabbit out of the hat? And I think obviously, if you look at price action today, people figured it out. Like, right. This is just going to keep happening. And realistically, in the beginning, it worked. It worked for them to do this, and it actually increased their supply. But now, it's not working, and they're giving up their crypto. They used to be able to manipulate the market into their favor, and I don't think that's the case anymore. And you know what? I hope this is the final time that China bans crypto. But just like Red Hot, or who am I thinking? Not Red Hot Chili Peppers. Guns N' Roses. They're gonna come back like 18 different times. They're gonna retire like 42 times, and they're gonna come back like 50 times. So.
That's an amusing analogy there, Nick. It just makes me wonder, how many times is the Chinese government going to get away with playing the same tired hit over and over again? Now, that is a question I honestly have for you, my friend, because to a certain degree, it is still working. If we look at the conditions of the market right now, that FUD is taking place. Simultaneously, I think what is of very notable right now, I'm sure you saw this, Nick, the third largest Bitcoin whale has been accumulating like crazy over the last 48 hours. So folks, what is this telling you? If some of the largest whales in the entire market are accumulating as much as possible through this Chinese propaganda effort? What do you say, Nick?
Yeah, clearly the big players within crypto, and it's not just Bitcoin, but it's crypto as a whole, are taking these as they're taking as for what they are. They're opportunities, and we're seeing some of the largest transfers of wealth go through on days like today, where there's billions and billions of dollars moving around.
Yes,
and to the wise, that is an opportunity. I talked to a guy at my gym today that I've known this guy for years and years, and he trades a bit of stocks, and he's been trying to get into crypto for a while. He just doesn't know much about it. So tonight I actually helped him get on Kraken, and I'm like, dude, the time to strike is nigh.
Yes,
and
yes.
He's like, this is when millionaires are made, and it was precisely at a time just like this 7 years ago. I struck at the same exact time during a bit of China FUD, and the market was booming, and then it kind of came down a little bit. So these are the opportunities that smart people look for.
I completely agree. Just for the usual disclaimer, blah, blah, blah. Neither Nick and I are financial advisors, etc., whatever. But just to let you guys know what I am doing, this interim of latest round of Chinese FUD that has temporarily significantly impacted the market value of Bitcoin, I have definitely been waiting for an opportunity like this to accumulate more Bitcoin. So I've been accumulating more Bitcoin. I've been accumulating a bit more Dogecoin and Ethereum as well. So my opinion, those are the big three, and you will continuously hear me talk about that in my short videos that some of you have probably noticed I started making, continuously coming back to this theme of the big three. I think this is very beneficial of Dogecoin to always frame the Dogecoin within the big three, and I don't just do that for framing purposes. I also really do believe that that's where Dogecoin's natural destiny belongs and is shaping up to be. What do you say, Nick? Dogecoin big three long term?
I believe so. I mean, I think it'll sit in the top 10, forever. But yeah, I think it'll work its way up. And you know what? So funny. So in the past 2 days, I've spent probably $20,000, and it's always hilarious. I always end up spending money during market crashes. I don't know why. This just happens. But today, I went to go buy a Smith machine. For those who don't know, it's like a bar that goes up and down.
Yeah.
I've been wanting one for my gym. I don't own the gym, but it's my gym. So I went to go buy that today. And I went with the owner of the gym, who's a good friend of mine. And the whole car ride there, it was just nothing but Dogecoin the whole time. And he's like, what's going to happen? What's going on? You've got the insider knowledge. Let me know. Because he invested too. He invested a lot in the beginning of the year.
Right.
And I told him, I'm like, look, there are so many catalysts that are just about to pop off towards the end of the year that are massive for Dogecoin. Specifically, I mean, there's great things in general for crypto. I think long-term bullishness is how I've always looked at cryptocurrency, but specifically for Dogecoin, the biggest market share, the lion's share of Dogecoin, almost 30% of all Dogecoin, is being held by one company, and very soon they're going to give all of their users access to it, which will completely diminish the available supply, because now this is going to start being spent, which means people need to get more to be able to spend more. Now this is being accepted by one of the largest movie theaters in the United States. That's happening at the end of the year. Those things coming together, and you've got, I think we can all agree that that's the kind of stuff that Elon's looking forward to bring to Tesla. These are all huge, huge events that are going to be, that we're just kind of on the precipice for. And it makes me, even if something were to happen with Bitcoin between now and December, I don't care. I think Dogecoin will do just fine regardless. It might even buck market trends.
Yeah, I agree, and I think you stated that just wonderfully. Nick, if I want to pivot to something here, something I've been studying a great deal lately, that I've been noticing more and more. It's something that I had known about, but the further I looked into it, it's even, I believe, even more massive than I originally thought, and the ramifications in a positive way I think this will have on the big three is potentially unprecedented. And that is this. There is an unprecedented amount, particularly now, particularly in the last month, I've noticed, last 4 to 6 weeks, of both Bitcoin and Ethereum being purchased and immediately removed off of exchanges onto cold wallets. I mean, this is happening, particularly Bitcoin. I mean, I have never seen so much Bitcoin being moved and bought and placed onto wallets in such a short period of time. And what's very interesting, I know you see this too for as much as you do TA throughout the day, as there's two things simultaneously happening here that I find absolutely fascinating. While all of these, all of this Bitcoin is being hoarded, the market value is going down. While the Bitcoin's being hoarded, same for Ethereum. So we're having like this cross almost X pattern between these two things. Sooner or later, that other shoe's gonna drop, and this is going to reflect in the market value. I think it's becoming, it's right now it's like a pressure cooker, and once it lets loose, I think we're shaping up to see a bull run to the likes of perhaps that we've never seen before. Your thoughts?
100%. I mean, supply shock is real. It is a real thing. And cryptocurrency, unlike many things in this world, like, for example, the gold market, we know, roughly about how much gold is mined every year. And forget about traditional currency because it's just, you can print as much as you want, apparently, and the government doesn't care. So yeah, there will be, specifically with Bitcoin, but I believe with Ethereum, especially now that Ethereum is burning, so much of its supply. Yeah, there is 100% going to be some sort of supply shock that hits this market. Now, a lot of people think that supply shock will be unaffected by the currency printing that we've been doing over the past year or two. It's hard to say whether huge macro market factors like what just happened, not necessarily what happened today in China, but for example, the Evergrande scandal, things like that could collapse a banking system. People speculate that crypto is not affected by that. I'm not necessarily sold on that opinion, but it is a possibility. It hasn't played out yet, so we don't know. And of course, we've seen crypto, Bitcoin, other cryptos get hit by black swan events. Like,
yes,
the virus was a perfect example. I mean, that greatly affected crypto. In fact, if that was probably the best time in the past 2 years to buy. Like, it was really a great time to buy. So, I look for those events, and I hope it affect. I know it sounds bad. You don't want crypto to go down, but I hope those events affect crypto because it gives people the opportunity to get in. And like I said, that's when millionaires are made.
I agree. I think that right now, for as long as you and I have been broadcasting together, Nick, and I don't say this to sound hyperbolic by any means, and those in the audience that listen to the show on a regular basis know that we're not the clickbaity types, and we're not overly hyperbolic by any stretch of the imagination.
You're telling me Doge isn't going to $100?
Doge is not going to $100 within the next year or two. No.
I was hoping a week.
So sorry. Become a Doge millionaire today. In all seriousness, that disclaimer aside, Nick, I can't think of another time that you and I have been broadcasting where things have been coming together quite like they are right now. We are seeing a trifecta. I believe a very powerful trifecta between the big three, between the mass accumulation of Bitcoin and Ethereum, and now the foregone conclusion of AMC accepting Dogecoin by year's end, Robinhood coming out with wallets, which is responsible for nearly 30% of the Dogecoin market. That is 30% of Dogecoin potentially freed up to be used and traded in a retail space. Furthermore, Elon has hinted in the past that one of the main reasons he's been holding back on the Tesla Dogecoin acceptance is because he's in part wants to wait for those wallets to happen, right? So we're seeing all this come together beautifully in almost like what I'd describe as a perfect storm. We're still in what I would say is a bearish red September, which is not out of the ordinary to what we've seen over the last 4 or 5 years, but given everything accumulating right now, Nick, I don't think we've ever been on the verge of a pressure cooker with such great potential since I've been in this game. How about you?
Yeah, well, I mean, I've been in it a lot longer than most people. So I've seen a lot of things over the years, a lot of which I just paid no mind to at all. But I will say that these times, the fact that we knew September was not going to be the greatest. Stock to flow pointed to Bitcoin being at 43,000 at the end of September, and I think that's absolutely correct. And it shows. I forgot what stock to flow's model is for October, but I think somewhere in end of October, nearing November, they show Bitcoin at 63,000. I mean, this right now, the period that we're in of the next 2 weeks, I'm telling, my close people, close friends who are just now getting into crypto, like, this is maybe your last time if you plan on riding the wave to the top.
Yes.
Now, a lot of people don't want to do that, and I understand because it's very volatile. And if you're brand new to crypto, judging a top to trying to buy and then sell a top within 3 or 4 months is probably not the way to go. I'm not advising anybody to do anything. I'm just saying this is what I would do. If I was brand new to crypto, I wouldn't try to do that.
Right.
But, that being said, there are a lot of people who want to get into it right now. And if they have the ability to, this might be, this next 2 to 3 week period could be the time. And if not, and I tell a lot of people this who are just like, well, I'm looking for like kind of the perfect entry. Well, then you got years. You know what I mean? You can wait till next year. There will be a top somewhere in here eventually at some point, and it will come down after that. I can guarantee you. So you just got to be patient, and that's what crypto is really all about. It's about being ultra patient. And that patience is rewarded. I'm proof.
Yeah, you are living proof. Quintessential example of that. First super chats for the evening finally coming in. Great to see. First one from 42p. I'm not sure what currency that is. Do you know, Nick? HUFs 1069. I like the number. Hey. Do you like the Satoshi statue unveiled last week? Yeah, I did get a look at that. I thought that was quite amusing. I give it the Steele of approval. Zombie Doge Army coming in with a $2 super chat. Thank you, Zombie Doge. Loving this new format. Great to see all faces. Thank you, Zombie Doge Army. This is something that I'm flirting with doing a bit more. We're going to be interspersing some of the regular podcast format with switching up with some video formats. Is this a format you guys would like to see us do more in the future? Let us know in the chat. That
Satoshi statue, by the way, was unveiled in Budapest, Hungary, the nation of my people.
The nation of your... That's right.
Yeah.
You are a strong Hungarian, sir. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Hungry money, Steven Steele. Well, that's... There we go. The super chat was from Hungary.
There you go.
That makes a lot of sense. Thank you for the clarification on that, guys. Thank you for the clarification on that. So, this article comes courtesy of MarketWatch. It says, if Adam Aron's apes want to pay for AMC popcorn with Dogecoin, he'll give his bosses what they want. In a pair of tweets fired off Monday and Tuesday, chief executive of AMC Entertainment polled his followers on the idea of adding the cryptocurrency Dogecoin to the list of digital tokens that his company will accept as payment for movie tickets and concessions by the end of 2021. Then announced exactly 24 hours later that AMC will explore Doge. I sincerely want to hear your opinion. Aaron tweeted Tuesday, I hear from many in my Twitter feed, we should accept Dogecoin, etc., etc. This is nothing new. Then we go to the end here. Aaron's Twitter theatrics, whether corporate kabuki or not, once again illustrated that he has done more than any other meme stock company leader to harness the trust and power of retail traders. This man's devotion to AMC investors is second to none, replied retail investor Carlos Trades. Seriously, thank you for being community focused. He did tweet out something today, you guys, and there were two tweets, and the last one was a bit ambiguous, so it wasn't super clear, like, hey, for sure we're taking on Dogecoin. It was like, wow, what an overwhelming response. You can be sure we are focused like a laser beam on crypto. I felt that like it was a little bit murky for my taste, but he would be an absolute fool not to go with the dog money at this point. I would say we're looking at about a 90% chance of AMC taking in Dogecoin. by the end of the year, particularly since, Nick, they're probably using BitPay, right? That's really not that far of a stretch technologically to add Dogecoin to the lineup. What do you say on the probability of this?
Yeah, I mean, clearly based on response. They're a company, right? They want to make as much money as they possibly can. That's the goal of any company. And the response to Dogecoin is just overwhelming. It is far and beyond the most retail-friendly crypto out there. At least that's being used to any significant scale. I think, he clearly got the message. He's now becoming, this is a guy who was in the movie industry who's now like rubbing elbows with Mark Cuban and Elon Musk.
Yeah.
And, these movie industry guys, they make their whole career, he's the CEO of AMC because he likes hobnobbing with famous people, right? Like that's the whole gimmick. So I'm 100% confident AMC will now accept Dogecoin. And I hope they're using BitPay. I don't know if they are or not. Mark Cuban suggested BitPay. I'm sure, just based on the ease of use, they'll go with BitPay. And if that's the case, it's as simple as flipping a switch. Mm-hmm. It's no more difficult than literally ticking a box that says accept Dogecoin. They don't have to do anything crazy. There's no setup involved. Like it's literally you just turn it on. So. That's why I thought Mark Cuban's response was hilarious. He's like, you just select Dogecoin. Adam's like, the complexities of crypto, I don't know. It's so crazy, guys. Mark Cuban's just like, you just check the box, man. That's all you gotta do.
Is that what Mark Cuban kind of conveyed to him today? I know there was a bit of back and forth between the two.
Yeah, it was hilarious. I thought it was so funny. Because it's true. I mean, if you're going to go with a payment processor, they're not like making you set anything up.
Right.
You give them your bank account, they give you crypto. It's not that hard.
Yeah, it's so funny because to hear the CEO of AMC say stuff today like, I'm working with my team on seeing how we can get this done. And I was like, bro, you don't need a team. You literally need to check a few option boxes with BitPay and you're good to go.
It goes to show you how unaware this guy is of how cryptocurrency works. And this was my speculation from the very beginning. Like, this guy just doesn't know. He's like, he thinks we have to hack the mainframe to get the crypto working. It's like, bro, it's not. I understand. It can be complex, but it ain't that complex.
Yeah. Louis Doge Millie coming in with a $2 super chat. Thank you, Louis. Appreciate you. Good evening, Doge Army. Have a good weekend. I love it. Thank you, Louis. Appreciate you. Next story here. This one's kind of amusing. This one's definitely has that crossover appeal with both financial news all the way to BuzzFeed, all the way to your average gossip rags, and that is the demise of Elon Musk and Grimes. Their relationship coming to a close after 3 years. Wow. I feel like I saw this coming, but I didn't see it coming. It's like
when you said you did her, you sent me a message. You're like, I did Grimes dirty on this one. I didn't know what you meant until I clicked on the show and saw the artwork.
The thumbnail.
Like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was definitely intentional, having a little fun there. I'll temporarily readjust the artwork on the screen so the audience can see what I did to Grimes here. A bit unflattering there.
I mean, it's a real picture. It's not like it's photoshopped or anything.
Yeah, I mean, she looks like a 16-year-old boy, and there anyway, and Elon Musk is looking like an epic Chad. You know what? Go ahead.
He stepped out of his. I think he went way far out of his zone with Grimes. He was very. By the way, Elon Musk. If you're watching, I mean, I understand what happened with Grimes. I'm not, but other than that, your taste in women, magnifique, chef's kiss, blonde, stacked. I love the whole thing that he's got going on. I'm a fan of Elon Musk's taste in women. Grimes, a little out of the norm for Elon, I would say. And I would imagine that probably played somewhat into the fact that they're no longer together. Because he has a very particular type, and she was not that.
Yeah, I definitely want to circle back to this because I think this is a fun topic. Zombie Doge Army coming in with a $2 super chat. Finally have my chance with Grimes. Good luck, my man. Do glue. That's quite a handle there. Thank you for the $2 super chat. Do glue. When Lambo, hopefully within the next 12 months, my friend. Depends what your position is and how much you put in, like any other investment. But thank you for the super chat. Do glue. Circling back to the story, Nick. Yeah, I hear what you're saying there. I've actually dated a fair amount of what would be described as super artistic women, art school types, etc. This, that, and the other thing. The thing is, though, it's really interesting when you see like real life footage of them at their home. There's some of the stuff that leaked out over the duration of their relationship, and it was always like Grimes going live on TikTok or talking on TikTok with like one of her girlfriends, and they would be talking about like bidets or like cartoons, and then Elon would just be in the background, just kind of like, you know. Elon is literally changing the face of humanity. He has very lofty goals and extremely high IQ. He's the second wealthiest man in the world. And, you know, she's on TikTok and, you know, caught up in gala balls. I know we're kind of dissing Grimes right now, aren't we? We're kind of having a diss fest on Grimes. I know that the tabloids and everything say they're cool and they're still, you know, they still love each other and they're just separating, they're going separate ways, and it's amicable and all this and that and the other thing. But come on, let's be honest. At the end of the day, everyone knows that Elon's too based for Grimes. Elon's too based for Grimes. What do you say, Nick?
Yeah, you know what? It's this guy, I swear. It's unfortunate. I watched a documentary actually. It was done by his ex-wife. I think it was his first wife. Might have been his second. Who knows at this point? And, you know, she painted a very interesting picture of what Elon is really like. And that's a tough guy to interact with at a relationship level like that, because you know, you're basically dating an alien. You know, this guy is smarter than anyone will ever, you know, currently. It's just he's so way out there with his ideas, the way he thinks, and you know, not to mention he's got a very like complex personal life. He's got 1 million kids from a bunch of different ladies. Like, you know, but at the same time, as many very wealthy people do, he struggles with loneliness. Right. Like, he struggles with loneliness. So he's constantly jumping from one girl to the next. Right. I hope, I want to talk to this guy so bad, because like I found like myself, and I found who I was as a person when I had like one of my biggest relationship fails ever. I dated a girl for 4 years. We started dating in high school, and then she moved away. We broke up. It shattered my heart. But at the same time, it made me the man that I am today. Right. By showing me that I was the most important part of the entire equation. And I think that if Elon Musk takes the time to like focus on what his life, you know, what's important in his life, and it might not necessarily be another girl. It could just be, you know, work-life balance or something different, doing something different. That could lead to the next like evolution of space travel, or like he could, you know, wake up the next day and be like, oh crap, that's how we get to Mars in like you know, a month or two or whatever. You know, these are I hope that he, you know, kind of pumps the brakes a little bit, because he goes from one chick to the next in a very short period of time, and I understand he gets lonely, but man, you got friends like us out here, Elon. Hit us up. I'll go to the gym with you, bro.
Yeah, if I were to give any lifestyle advice for Elon Musk, I would say take a break from the LTRs, take a break from the long-term relationships, Don't settle down right away this next time around. Play the field. I would love personally to see Elon go Hugh Hefner style for a while. Why not just have like, 4 or 5 beautiful women move in with you and just
we personally know like 20 on Twitter right now,
right,
who would live in a house all together with Elon.
I mean, oh, absolutely. I mean, Nick, there was a period in my life, not in the not so distant past, where I had 2 ladies living with me, and I'm a pleb. So if I'm a pleb and I can pull that off, certainly Elon Musk can have 5 tens just rolling around in the house. And, just enjoy yourself, Elon. Enjoy yourself. Play it Hugh Hefner style. Plus, 2, it's very difficult, I would imagine, to be involved in a very focused, serious relationship with somebody who's as busy and ambitious as Elon Musk. Unfortunately, we are all on limited time in these bodies. And so when you look at the focus and the drive and the goals that Elon Musk has stated that he wants to complete before he leaves this planet, they're very lofty and they require an absolute lifetime of focus. And sometimes that's going to sacrifice things like being in conventional relationships, quite frankly. Your thoughts there?
Yeah, I would agree. And clearly, I mean, this has been the demise of all of his relationships thus far, has been his inability to disconnect from his work-life balance. And I can't imagine, he's got, how many? He's got 6 kids, right? I think. Might be more.
Yeah.
It's at least 5. I know. I lost count.
I think it's 4 or 5, yeah.
He's got a lot of kids. So he already, to make time for his kids, I mean, that's got to be insane in itself. Like, just doing that. So, yeah, I hope that he takes a bit and does what he's got to do. And I hope that leads to... more innovation. And I think part of, what holds him back is his need to be together with someone, and it just, how are you going to do that when you're working those kind of hours? How is it even, it's not, clearly it's not possible because it's not working. Whatever he's doing isn't working. Yeah, and it's funny because at SpaceX or at Tesla, he can recognize what's not working and fix it. But he can't do that in his own life, which is, it's kind of like an oxymoron type of situation where it's like, it's a catch-22. But I hope that he figures it out. I know he will. I know Elon will.
Sliding Edge coming in with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Sliding Edge. Dude, it's Steele live. Believe it. We are here. We're doing it to it live. This is the first time Nick Ballz and I have been live on video on the stream. We're going to start doing these sort of live video streams more often, interspersed with the podcast style. So watch out for that. We'll be doing this a lot more often, folks. We're going to be interspersing these. So I hope you guys enjoy this format. As I was listening to you talk there, Nick, I think you raised some really good points. This is a common theme we've seen with the most brilliant people that have existed on the planet, the most brilliant men we've seen exist on the planet, where their personal lives, I wouldn't say shambles. I wouldn't say Elon Musk's personal life. I mean, I don't know it, but I wouldn't say I wouldn't describe it as, or think it was in shambles. But there is a certain degree of unrest. I think the most productive, brilliant people end up having 2 basic qualities or attributes rather simultaneously working at all times, and that is 3 things if I had to boil it down, and that is 1, relentless drive and ambition, 2, restlessness, and 3, I guess those 2 things, right? I guess those 2 things. So I wouldn't even know where to go with the 3rd one, but the common thread, the common denominator is relentlessness and restlessness as far as determination, also restless. I think both of those things create a kind of a cocktail to achieve results that are just absolutely exceptional. Your thoughts?
I would agree, and I'm going to parallel this over to the world of bodybuilding, but you see the greatest bodybuilders in the world. Immediately I think of Dorian Yates, who was a guy who had the craziest determination. Like, he was not going to stop, and he was not going to let anyone catch him. And it didn't matter if he was up at 4 a.m. jogging the streets of London, or letting his marriage fall apart, or tearing his bicep and his tricep. I mean, his body, he took it to what had never been done before at the time. Now everybody's gigantic like he was, but he was the first true mass monster. And it kind of ruined his life. However, after he retired from bodybuilding, he became like this spiritual guru guy. And now he goes out into the forest and does ayahuasca. Like, you would never know. I mean, looking at him now, you would never know that he was like a 6-time Mr. Olympia. But yeah, I think that relentless determination, and particularly restlessness, the inability to like settle, is what makes people champions in the world.
Yes.
And I can seriously speak from experience in telling people that there are 3 or 4 month periods where I am up at 4:30 every day to run for an hour. And then after the gym, I'll work all day, go to the gym at 4:30 or 5, train for 2 hours, and then I'll run for another hour after that. And if you want to win a show and you want to get a trophies like I have over there, that's what you have to do. And when you have, it's that mindset is extremely rare and hard to find, and it's why people fail at dieting. It's why people fail at completing tasks in their life. It's because getting to that point is uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable to be like that, and there's a very select few people out there who are willing to embrace uncomfortability, and it's just rare. And Elon is one of those rare guys, and it's hard to find someone that will match those qualities. Thank God I found a girl in my life who does all of these things with me, and even more than I do. So, yeah.
Yeah, let me get to the super chat, and I definitely have a couple things I want to dovetail off, which some great stuff you said there. Slide and Edge coming in again with the $5 super chat. Thank you again, Slide and Edge. Appreciate you, man. Guys, this breakup is just Elon setting up franchises of mini Elon's long-term goals. Yeah, maybe franchises of mini Elon's. Thank you for that, and thank you for the super chats, guys. I think you laid down a lot of truth there on that last tangent there, Nick. And just to dovetail off what you said there, it does take that absolute relentlessness. I look back at the duration of my life so far, and every time I look at a turning point or landmark in my life that is responsible for next leveling me and bringing me out of bad places, or bringing me out of very difficult places. That process was very uncomfortable. And there's not a successful man on this planet that hasn't pushed through very uncomfortable shit, okay? And so, like you said, the biggest achievements in life are created through being uncomfortable, are created through challenging yourself and putting you through things and positions that aren't comfortable, that you don't necessarily want to be in at that present time. And that's what separates, one of the hallmarks of what separates successful people from unsuccessful people. I mean, I look back at the times where, now I was fortunate enough where I was able to make a living for 10 years in the music industry. I never became a celebrity or anything, but I got further than 95% of people in that game. And that was through complete relentlessness. And that was also because I had to have a lot of very uncomfortable talks with people. You're fired. I had to fire people from my band all the time. These are very uncomfortable talks to have with people, but those are the kind of talks that were needed to help move things to another level. So I think everything that you stated there, Nick, really just got me thinking about all that stuff. I think really well stated. Trucking All Day coming in with a $10 super chat. Now we can see Steven eat that dark chocolate. Yes, not tonight, my friends, but dark chocolate will be live on the air soon, I assure you. Nice format, Dogecoin. Thank you, Truckin' All Day, and we appreciate you. We appreciate your continued support here on the show. I'd like to kind of pivot to this next story, Nick. This comes courtesy of Market Insider. Bill Gates takes a dig at Jeff Bezos, of course, and Elon Musk. Space? We have a lot to do here on Earth, he says. During an interview with James Corden, of course, Bill Gates poked fun at the billionaire's space race. Gates commented on comments come after a few months after Bezos, Richard Branson took private jets into outer space. The interview was days after Gates was asked on camera about his The interview was days after Gates was asked about his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. So without getting further into this, and we will get further into the story, I assure you people, but before we even go further into this, the first thing that comes to mind is deflection. If Bill Gates is being asked about Jeffrey Epstein and his relationship with him, this seems like a very convenient topic of a deflection, doesn't it? This seems
Did you see his response?
Go ahead.
Bill Gates. So he was on that interview. I can't remember the woman. It was an English lady interviewing him, and she was asking about Jeffrey Epstein. He went on a whole tangent of, I didn't know, and it was very brief. We just spoke a couple times, and he goes, and well, he's dead now. So I was like, I wish I want to sound clip that and make it into a song or something.
Yeah.
It was gold. It was gold. It's gold, Bill. If you're listening, perfect. He is dead now. You are correct.
That was his big pivot?
Yeah.
He's done. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yo, I'll tell you something. This guy, Bill Gates, has just been providing endless entertainment for us. I mean, honestly, the agenda is so transparent and so clear at this point, to me anyway, and I'm sure to some of our viewers as well. And of course, he's gonna pivot this way with the Late Show with James Corden. You're familiar with James Corden, aren't you, Nick?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah, I don't really. This is a perfect example, this guy, James Corden, of somebody who has been forced and foisted on us through Hollywood, through an incredible, huge marketing budget over and over again. I don't know one person that's genuinely a fan of James Corden. I don't know one person, let alone that thinks this guy is genuinely funny. He's just somebody that we've all accepted to be a hallmark of late night entertainment, a hallmark of our pop culture. But he was definitely somebody that is almost just like engineered and keeps being force-fed upon us. So nobody really cares for this poor excuse for a talk show host. Sorry, we're getting
into it with Picard. What's that guy's name? The guy who played Picard. I can't remember. Patrick Stewart.
Yeah, Patrick Stewart. He did.
Yeah, they got it. They almost got into a fist fight on stage.
On his show?
No, it was at some sort of ceremony or something. I forgot what it was. I think it was in England for something. But yeah, Patrick Stewart was basically like, no one likes you. it was so
Did he
funny.
Really?
I wish we could roll the clip. It's so funny. Anybody goes out there and searches James Corden, Patrick Stewart. It's hilarious. It is really funny back and forth. But yeah, I mean, he is kind of the epitome of everything that went wrong with the late night talk show host. And this is in the past 15 or so years, it just kind of descended into it's unwatchable television. It is unwatchable. You can't. I don't who's paying for this. I don't know what their advertisers are thinking. I don't know how they're making money. I haven't seen anyone watch James Corden, or I haven't even seen anyone watch Jimmy Kimmel in 10 years. Where's the money coming from? Who's watching this?
I feel like almost all of the late night scene now has been, for late night talk shows, these guys have been completely neutered. If we look over just a short time ago in our history, in our recent history, Nick, we had guys like Craig Ferguson, Jon Stewart, David Letterman, obviously Johnny Cash if you go back further than that. But those are just a few examples that I'm ping-ponging off of the top of my head. All of them completely superior in every way as far as their hosting abilities, their oratory abilities, their delivery, their monologues, their sense of humor, all of it. It was engaging, it was exciting.
Like this past month, just because of this past month, I was thinking a lot about Jon Stewart, and I used to watch The Daily Show every day because it came on. It was amazing. It came on after South Park. It was like it was the thing to watch. And during 9/11, I mean, it was just like he did a perfect job at covering that. Jon Stewart was an animal of a presenter. He was on the money. And now, have you seen an episode of The Daily Show recently? It's unwatchable.
Gosh.
Trevor Noah, I hear people say that Trevor Noah once was a good comedian, and I could believe that, but if it's him or someone else, whoever the writers are, it's unwatchable. Trevor, if you're listening, your show is garbage. It is unwatchable television. I don't know who's tuning in. It is horrible. It's horrific. It's a car crash in slow motion.
Oh my goodness.
I hope this changes. But bring back Jon Stewart. I know he's retired. He's never coming back, but I wish he did.
I agree. People have said, Trevor Noah, you got to go back and watch his stand-up because he used to be really funny. I did that. I never thought Trevor Noah, I didn't think his stand-up was ever funny either. I don't know. It's one of those things where these guys, whether it's Kimmel or Trevor Noah or James Corden, they all kind of remind me of like if you're like heavy-handed like high school counselors got positions as late night talk show hosts. Like it's just not cool. And I feel like you're being a lot of times too like they take like a lot of the humor out of it, a lot of the edge out of it because it's like so heavy-handed. It's like really preachy half the time too, and it's like that's not fun. That's not fun at all. Yeah. That's to me that doesn't make for good television. That doesn't make for good late night TV. And ironically, people like this are the most caught up in themes like inclusivity, while actually fostering environments that are anything but. Totally. So to kind of get back to the story a little bit here. This is a very juvenile argument. We have, since you and I have been since you've been coming on the show with me, we have seen these evolutions of Bill Gates throwing shade at not just Elon Musk, but at cryptocurrency in general, at Bitcoin, etc. And he goes through these different reasonings for trying to sow FUD and all these sorts of things levied against the aforementioned. You remember when it was like, hey, I'm indifferent to Bitcoin, who cares? I'm indifferent to cryptocurrency, whatever. And then it was, there's a lot of crime being committed and moved around with cryptocurrency, as if that doesn't happen with fiat. And then
because Bill Gates has never committed a crime.
Right. and then the excuse was environmental concerns, that cryptocurrency was the biggest emerging environmental hazard coming at us, and everybody better be warned because our current system is so environmentally friendly. I mean, this is absolute bollocks. Absolute bollocks. This is hogwash. I mean, if you consider how much energy is used per year out of one local banking branch, when you figure that the average one has about 30 employees, all of which that are commuting every day back and forth in their gas automobiles, and then all the electricity and gas that it takes to keep a building like that on year round, not to mention all the other things that are required to energy that's required to keep a bank going on an annual basis. When you're trying to compare that to people making transactions on a blockchain, give me a break. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think the math has been pretty well proven that like the amount of energy that Visa uses per year is insane. It's crazy. So yeah, the whole energy argument is really null and void, and I think a lot of people get on Elon because he went after Bitcoin because of its energy consumption, and I think he learned a lot about crypto, as a whole, as far as how it's being used and its impact on the globe. And I think that the thing about like Visa, MasterCard, and big payment processors and banks, their energy usage isn't going to change. They're never gonna solve. It's always gonna maintain. With crypto, though, now people are moving to solar, and people are, there's proof of stake, and there's all types of things that use a fraction of the energy compared to proof of work. So, yeah, I mean, I think that whole argument is a ridiculous one. And as far as in relation to Bill Gates, Bill is, dude, I don't want to get into Alex Jones levels of conspiracy here, but something's going on there. I don't know what's going on. Bill, if you're listening, I know what's going on. Something's going on. But, yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's about where I fall on it too. Like, yeah. I don't know what's going on, but something's going on.
Something's going on. I don't know
what's going on, but something's going on. Right. Yeah.
Something's going on.
Yeah. It's also interesting this argument to me just seems so juvenile, wherein and we saw this a few months ago too, where Elon Musk got into a bit of back and forth with Bernie Sanders about this same kind of argument, wherein if you are for space exploration, you're against the people of Earth, and that's just so silly. That's just such a
Who said that?
It's just this. Bernie Sanders basically is making the same argument that Bill Gates is making against Elon Musk and the like right now, basically saying we have way too many problems to handle here on Earth, therefore putting these big budgets towards space exploration is unethical and wasteful, right? That's the argument.
Oh my God, Bernie Sanders, Jesus Christ. So that's like the argument that like, you're never going to win, so you shouldn't even try. What a loser opinion. Man, you know what? Back in the day, I thought I used to like Bernie Sanders, but God, every day I hear something new about that guy, and it just grinds my gears. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. You shouldn't even try. Like, what the hell?
Yeah. It's interesting because another thing too is like we can't walk and chew gum. Like, I really don't like the framing to begin with, right? Where it's like we have to choose either between space exploration and furthering our technology in that aspect, or contributing and trying to solve the conditions we're facing here on Earth. I mean, why not both? Furthermore, when people that make this argument, they're completely discounting all of the various huge technological advancements that we have been able to make specifically through space exploration. I mean, it's a long list, and it's a significant list of things that have greatly contributed to up people's standard of living here on Earth. So I don't see this as a should be ever be put as an ultimatum, particularly when you're talking about Elon Musk, things that are largely privately funded as well. To me, it just seems like a juvenile argument. We can do both. Sliding Edge coming with a $5 super chat. Thank you again, Sliding Edge. Low-key want the Steele Ballz collaborative to deep dive Gates and by extension his circle of influence. Well,
oh God,
that might have to be a members only or something.
I think that
I don't know. I mean, we really need to be mindful of the TOS here, and I don't know what would fall outside of that, to be honest. But we got to keep the lights on. We got to keep the channel going. But maybe something. I don't
want to wake up
with a horse head in your bed.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh man, but yeah, things got a bit. We got a little bit spicy tonight, didn't we? So yeah. Let's pivot a little bit here. So PC Mag reports here, Twitter now lets you tip anyone with cash or cryptocurrency. And yeah, you can tip with cash. I mean, most people don't know that. Twitter's virtual tip jar is rolling out to everyone now with the option to pay using cryptocurrency. Introduced in May, the feature allows prolific tweeters to receive donations directly from followers. Tips, formerly known as Tip Jar, offered a fixed spot in your profile to Cash App, Patreon, Venmo, and other payment platforms. Whether you want to tip your favorite account because you adore their commentary, send some love to emerging comedy creator for their hilarious tweets, help a small business owner through a difficult time, give to an important cause. Twitter staff product manager Esther Crawford wrote in a blog announcement, whatever you want to support, and we know you already have some ideas, tips are here to help do it. There's only one thing missing from this feature, and I think you know what it is, Nick.
You're going to tell me that they're only accepting Bitcoin and probably Ethereum.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
The two worst choices for a tip jar. You couldn't make a worse choice, Jack. If you're listening to this, Jack, you made the apps. I know how biased you are to Bitcoin, and maybe you give a little bit to Ethereum, but these are the two absolutely worst choices to tip someone in. What are you going to get? What are you going to give somebody? 0.0000001 of a Bitcoin? And how much is that going to cost in a fee? Forget about Ethereum. Ethereum, you're going to tip them 0.00001 and it's going to cost you $100. Like, what?
Yeah,
How does this work?
Yeah. You know, so we got to just keep the polite pressure on the Dogecoin community. We've done this before, right? We did it with AMC, right? So, you know, Jack Dorsey, it's probably going to be a little bit harder to convince him to come around to the dog money because he's obviously so entrenched in his allegiances and enthusiasm for Bitcoin. But at the end of the day, even Jack Dorsey is a businessman, and they're going to see those numbers. And I believe that the Bitcoin tipping numbers that are going to be coming in are going to be underwhelming, if I had to guess. And there's a simple solution to that, and that is to add dog money. We already have a lot of proof of concept that Dogecoin holders are willing to spend it much more so than Bitcoin or Ethereum holders, etc. And waiting to do it. It's structured for this sort of thing. And so we just need to keep giving Twitter some positive encouragement to extend this to Dogecoin. Sliding Edge coming with a $2 super chat. Jack Dorsey won't use the original tipping coin. Well, hopefully we can, like I said, let's just keep the polite pressure on him, like we had to do
like
with
these
AMC.
Guys, these major. Okay, I'll give AMC a break, right? Because I think that Adam just didn't. He just doesn't understand crypto, right? That's okay. Well, we'll give AMC a pass as long as they, which I believe they will. Jack, on the other hand, just doesn't like money, and it's clear in his facial hair. You can see the fact that he doesn't like money because he likes to pretend to be a hippie when he's actually a billionaire. I know what you're doing, Jack. You're not fooling anybody. You're not fooling this guy, and you're not fooling anybody in the chat. I know what you're trying to do. You like money. Stop pretending like you don't. You want to live in a rainforest and under some trees and a piece of plastic and a tarp? You can do that, but don't screw your users and your company out of possible millions and millions of dollars. Don't forget, guys, when these people set up these tip jars on all different platforms, and by the way, this was true for Doge back in 2014 when the tip bots were being added to Facebook and they were being added to Reddit and they were being added to Justin TV before it became Twitch. The people who set those up and the platforms that they operated on made a fraction or percentage of each tip being sent. All of these platforms stand to make money. Do you think they're going to make a lot of Bitcoin? Do you think they're going to make a lot of Ethereum? No, they're not. They would make exponentially more Doge than any of these if they use them as a tipping service.
Hands down.
This is it's not even, I would say it's a theory. It's not even a theory anymore. It's facts. Look at all of the places that accept Dogecoin and their ratios. It's not even close. It's not even close. Dogecoin is the most used crypto when you give it the ability to become functional in the retail space. Jack, I know what you're doing. You're not a hippie. You're a billionaire. Realize who you are. Be comfortable with it. Start buying diamonds. I like them. Start buying some shiny suits, and I don't know, get a haircut or something. I don't know, something.
Yeah, a slide edge coming through with $2 super chat. That's Dak Dorsey, one of you used it. I read that one, but thank you again. Alan Schneider coming through with a $2 super chat. Thank you, Alan. Appreciate you. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. Welcome back to you, Alan Schneider, and thank you again for your continued support. Some spicy comments in there. I'm getting a kick out of it, but I'm not gonna read those out loud. You know, when I heard you talk there, Nick, I couldn't help but think there's always been kind of like this dichotomy where when I was growing up, there's always a faction of kids in high school that went really out of their way to participate in things like dumpster diving, and they would avoid purposely avoid personal hygiene, these sorts of things, and this was their angle, right? And 9 times out of 10, these young people always came from very affluent families and very affluent homes. And so when you were kind of describing the dichotomy of the aesthetic of and vibe of Jack Dorsey, I couldn't help but think of that kind of parallel.
So there's a picture, and maybe one time I'll send it on the show, or maybe I'll send it to you on Twitter and we can put it on the show. When I was in high school, this is right after 9/11 happened. There was a lot of talk about the U.S. going to war, that there might be a draft instated, and I became very politically active. And I became friends with these hippies. Well, they were anarchists, I should say.
Yeah.
And they were specifically like communist anarchists, you could call them.
So this is kind of like pre-Antifa.
Yes, actually,
yeah.
Funny enough, these are some of the people who like sprung that entire movement before it was ever a thing. I brought this up because I was very good friends with the person who created Anonymous. His name is Jeremy Hammond, and he just got out of jail. You can write him. He was in jail for like 10 years. He stole $5 million from Stratfor.
Well, that'll do it.
Yeah. And he gave it away to charity.
Okay.
Which is crazy. He is a legit guy in the sense that he is a real one. Like he steals from the rich and gives to the poor, and he is one of the most prolific computer hackers of our time.
Yeah.
Look him up if you're in the chat. His name is Jeremy Hammond. I have a picture with me and Jeremy Hammond and a bunch of crust punks from high school on like a desk, like raising our fists to the man. It's a black and white photo. I still have it somewhere. But this reminds me of that archetype of person. And I will say this, Jeremy was a real legit, he was about the life. The other guys that kind of followed him, keep in mind, we grew up in the most affluent suburb outside of Chicago. Like, this is, like, there is wealth around me that most people will never know. None of these people had it rough. None of these people were, like, struggling. Like, they were taken care of by their parents. You know, if anything, I moved back to Illinois from, like, the ghetto of Los Angeles. I think I showed you where I lived. I lived on Pico and La Cienega. It was the hood. It was about as hood as you could get. And that's where I came back from Illinois from. So out of all of the people in this group, like, I had the most experience with, like, poverty. So they'd come to me and, like, ask questions. It was an interesting time.
About what it's like?
Yeah. What's it like to eat ramen noodles, Nick? Well, let me tell you. I put carrots in them to make me feel fancy. So, you know, it was just it's an interesting archetype of person who wants to believe that they're not wealthy and masquerade as I'm a climate, change, and I love the earth, and yeah, I'm just here to, like, make everything better. And bro, you make $1 billion a year. You get to everywhere you go in a private jet. Like, this is like, how much. My question is, in Jack Dorsey's mind, in any given day, how much justification is taking place? He's like, sir, we have to get on the private jet to go to a headquarters in San Francisco. It's like, well, that's okay, because if I run 5 miles around the track this morning, I can offset that carbon footprint. And it's like, dude, how much justification are you doing on a normal, regular basis to like explain to yourself that you're not a billionaire? You're a billionaire. Just embrace it. Elon does, and he does a pretty good job. He's only got one house now.
The Burning Man billionaire. Guys, 88 ADA Cardano. I did see your notes there. Yeah, ADA is one of the few breakouts of today. I wouldn't say it's a tremendous one, but it's up about 3.5% for the day, but up about equally just over the last hour. So, yeah, a significant pivot there just over the last hour. Right now, ADA Cardano is trading at about $2.36, a little over that. And just to put things
if you took it from high to low, it's almost 15% from the fall. So
from the fall, right?
Yeah. If you would have traded that, man, that was at $2 this morning.
Yeah, wow. So yeah, and the market cap right now is approaching 77 billion on ADA Cardano. Nick, you've recently put a pretty fair amount of money behind ADA, yeah?
Yeah, baby. My whole thing was like, at first I wanted 100,000 Cardano, and I was going to sell. I was buying at $1. I was going to sell at $20. That was like my play. And now that I look at what Cardano is doing and how it's moving. By the way, I don't actively trade Cardano because it just moved. Like, look at what we're watching right now. It moves so strangely. I was listening to CryptoFace talk about this the other day. He stopped trading Cardano. He's like, I can't do it. It's too much. It just moves too crazy to be able to trade. But I am making Cardano my next super long. So I'll hold it for maybe 10 years. And I'll keep accumulating as I see fit. But the goal is I want to buy 100,000 at the average price of somewhere in the dollar range, which I'm pretty much stacked on, and then sell as close to $1,000 as possible, which I think Cardano could do in the next 10 years. So that is my personal outlook for Cardano. I know a lot of people have much more like reasonable price targets with Cardano, but just based off of like other similar coins that do this, based off of Ethereum, based off of BNB, based off of a few others, I think Cardano is going to do crazy things. And trust me, I hate Charles. I'm not buying Cardano because I like Charles. I think he's probably the worst part about Cardano. But as far as what it does and how it moves, technically speaking, I think I've mentioned this on the other show. I told my friend, the owner of my gym today, I'm like, dude, realistically, the only thing I really care about, other than Dogecoin, which I am emotionally married to, I'm not married to anything else. And all I'm looking for is percentage gain over time. That's it. How much money can I make in a given period of time? I mean, I'm in the fortunate position now where I don't have to flip stuff. I can make a huge investment into something and wait 10 years. I've got the money to sit. So that's what I'm doing. And that's just how I'm doing it. But I'm also the same guy who took a freaking loan from the bank for dog money. So don't listen to me. I'm wearing a tank top. What do you want? This isn't financial advice.
I love the disclaimer, but I also love your unique narrative because it's like you did risk it for the biscuit, but you did see something there that obviously most people did not. And so you were. I don't know what you saw, Nick, specifically. I've asked you a million times. I still don't know how you figured it out, but you did, my friend. And you're sitting here today, retired at, what are you, 32?
Just turned 33.
Man. Well, hopefully, we were joking around on the phone today that hopefully I will be joining you somewhere over the duration of the next couple of years, because wouldn't it be lovely if we were both, millionaires and we were just cruising around, and then we just did these night streams for fun. That'd be a fantastic life, wouldn't it?
I'm telling you, I told you this on the phone. Right now is an incredible time, an incredible opportunity to make so much money. It's so I don't know why everyone isn't retired at 33. It's amazing. I don't know why everybody doesn't do it. It's incredible. You know what I do every day? Whatever the hell I want. I don't set an alarm. I have no schedule. I just let the day come as it will. And if it, usually that means going to the gym for me. But that's what I like to do. If I want to paint, like I used to, I can do that. I've gotten into collecting watches, I've gotten into supercars and all the stuff that I always wanted as like a little kid.
Yeah.
And it's so much fun. I just love it. It's great.
That's awesome, man. I love to hear about it, and I love to hear about whenever we talk. Your lifestyle is just like, whoa. It's just so fun. Yeah, it's like we're the odd couple in a sense. We're very much alike, but at the same time, it's like it kind of adds to the dynamic of the show. I'm the pleb, you're the millionaire. So,
if I don't know if you would have told me that, like, dude, if someone would have told me that like even a year ago or like 2 years ago, I wouldn't believe. Like, I still don't believe. It's still crazy to me. It seems crazy, but it's possible. And I did it with crypto. I think, and I personally believe that others can too. I think that people have the opportunity to do it. They just have to go out there and risk it for the biscuit. And, that means being self-reliant and making big plays because you believe in yourself. And I feel like too many people nowadays don't believe in themselves enough. And this, if I can teach anyone anything, by the way, I'm not selling a course. I'm not selling a product. I'm not selling anything. I'm selling the idea that people in 2021 and beyond should go further ahead in believing in themselves and knowing what they are capable of. So few people do not understand their true potential. And it's sad because America was built from the ground up with people who had a dream and believed in themselves. And because of the way that we've been, especially over 2020, we've been locked in our homes, and we've been told that we can't do certain things. That mindset has been instilled in people, and it's like, you don't listen to that. You can do whatever the hell you want. Do not listen to that. You can do anything you set your mind to. It's just up to you.
Yeah, and I think that's awesome, motivating advice. I mean, we are living in an age where we have never been more empowered with the possibilities of entrepreneurship and self-employment. It just takes a lot of time and a lot of effort, but the opportunities are there more than they ever have been. I'm not saying it's easy, but the opportunities anyway have been more than they ever have been. Anyway, why don't we wind this one down? We've been going for about a little more than an hour and a half here, Nick. And guys, I am going to do a short membership stream in about 15 minutes after the end of the outro, on this broadcast. So for those of you who are members, I will see you in the membership stream. Keep an eye on your notifications. I will additionally be posting the link to the membership stream in the Discord. So make sure you're also hooked up with the Discord in the event your notifications don't come through for you. But if you even just start scrolling through YouTube and looking for it and you're a member, you'll see it pop up, and just hit access to it. If you'd like to become a member, it's another great way to support this, what we do here. And you can become a member for as little as just $4 a month. There's 3 different tiers of membership, but you can become a member for as little as $4 a month. I think I offer a lot of content, a lot of just a lot of extra content and value just for that additional $4 a month. So members, I will see you in about 15-ish minutes in the members chat. And I got some really exciting stuff to share with you guys in the members chat, particularly in relation to a particular investment that a few of you know what I'm talking about. There have been some very exciting developments there. Yeah, everyone else that super chatted and hung out, I hope you enjoyed this video format. If you do, then we'll do more of it. Until next time, Nick, do you have any parting words for our esteemed audience?
We're almost out of September, guys, and we're about to see some craziness.
Yes, I agree. Strap in, guys. It's going to be quite a ride and likely quite a bull run coming in the near future. Thanks again. This is Steele and Nick Ballz signing out, ladies and gentlemen. See ya.
Rushing back.